What's going on, YouTube? It's James with Highborn Fantasy Battle Report. Got another battle report for you today. This is the Mayhem in the Mountains. Round number 1, guys. What is going on? Alright, so this is my first video after ETC 2019. And I did a couple changes to my list. I have changed. I took out the squigs. You'll see what I added in. I also took out the spear chuckas, even though I did like the spear chuckas. Ended up taking them out. But let's go over this tournament. Let's go over my game. This is a very interesting tournament for me, to be honest. And this is the first time I've ever gone to Colorado. Here's a picture of me trying to capture the moon. You can see it on the left side. Try to capture the moon before it went behind the mountains. But anyways, I went to Colorado. Is Denver, Colorado, and then the tournament's actually held in Evergreen, Colorado. But Euron picked me up from the airport, and I ended up staying at Euron's house. He's one of the guys from Team Mexico, and we had a good time. But let's go over a couple different things really quick before we get to the tournament. First off, there was a review. There was 2 reviews, actually. There was a review done by me. If you guys watch my channel, you probably saw it already. But there was also a review by Cody Matson, I think his name was. And he did a review with several people from Colorado region. Obviously, there's a lot of locals at this tournament, and the locals were going over their predictions on who would have done what and how each match would have gone. They actually, John, I think his name was like Speltz, was going for me. Actually, he said that I have enough tools to deal with this Highborn elf player, depending on exactly how fast I could get to him. And then the other person that was counter-arguing with him was Warren, and I actually get to play Warren in Game 5, but Warren said that he doesn't think Orcs and Goblins are in a good spot right now, that he thinks that they're a really weak army, and he would see that I could struggle easily with this fight, depending on Ryan Dorsey's strategy, I should say. Anyways, so that I kind of think that's a fair assessment. I think that the Orcs and Goblins are a weak army. I really do, and I love them. I love them to death, but it's very interesting. The one character that they obviously put a lot of faith in was the Gargantula Spider, Koopa. Real quick story. I was watching the I was watching the list review, and my girlfriend was in the background. And she heard me watching the video, and they were like, yeah, the Gargantula spider with the king on it. She goes, they don't know who Koopa is? I was like, no, apparently they don't know who Koopa is, which means they don't know who I am. Alright, so this is basically the place that the venue that we were playing at. This is the brewery. It was called, I want to say it was like El Rancho or something like that. And I know I said that like a white person, but that's basically how it was. El Rancho. And it's a brewery out in Evergreen, Colorado. It's seriously in the mountains, so that's kind of cool, and that goes with the name, Mayhem in the Mountains. It used to be an old postal service, which I thought was kind of cool. And here's the cougar that's been kind of watching over us the whole tournament. Anyways, as you can see, there's Mike Lies. He's actually just talking to us about right before we start, you know, basic rules, any kind of upcoming events. And guys, there goes a shy ambulance waiting for it to go by. Okay, at least he was chill. His wife sitting down right there. I got some great pictures of them later on when they ended up coming into costume. But basically there you can see the rest of the people there ready to play. And let's go over my list. Let's go over his list, and we'll go over the game, more or less. I'm going to post up his list really quick so you can see what I'm talking about, but I kind of have to find mine. Here it is, Ryan Dorsey. Alright. So he has a mage with the Gleaming Rome, Binding Scroll, Path of Cosmology. He's a master. Basically, the Cosmology master doesn't really scare me too much. It does have that one spell that does like hits every person in the unit. He has the BSB with the Cane Rig Tower, Destiny's Call, all that stuff. He has 20 spears with Banner of Rima. He has 30 Sea Guard with Banner of Rima. Uh-oh, I lost the page. There we go. He has a Lane Reavers, just 5 of them. He has a Flame Wardens, only 15 of them, which I found was kind of odd. It was an odd number. It's good for objective, I guess, but for 465 points, I feel like it's a wasted unit. Eagle for 100 points, the Reavers for 310, and the Reaver Chariots are basically his version of the K-Pack, so I thought that was kind of like, whoa, we're going to have a K-Pack off. He has Queen's Guard, 14 of them. That's one of the scarier units in his list, and then he has 3 Sea Guard Reapers, and a Phoenix itself. The Phoenix is probably the most threatening thing to my list because I have trolls, because I have ranks. He basically should just be doing flybys and killing my army. I don't really have any way to specifically kill the Phoenix because I don't have the bolt throwers. I don't have too much shooting that could hit it, and my magic is pyromancy. So, anyways, let's go over my list. Let's go over what I have. Excuse me. First off, I'm going to start off with King Koopa. This fat bastard. This fat bastard. There's a good picture of him too. But basically, I'm going to tell you guys right now, a lot of my pictures are a little blurry just because the lighting was real dim at this location. So that's why you're going to see a lot of low-res pictures. But on a plus note, I just got a new phone, and the new phone should be able to take new pictures, better quality pictures. It's that's what they sold me on, was the quality image of the photos. So I was like, hey, I've been promising people I'll get a new camera. Maybe this will do. Anyways, King Koopa is my Force Goblin King with Shieldbreaker and the Dragon Staff, and just being a fat bastard. Fat lucky bastard, might I add. Alright, over here I got my 26 Feral Orc Ad Bashers with full command, with a Fight Next Rank banner. I got my 20 Goblins with bows and shields. As one of the guys mentioned in the video, the list reviews, he started calling this the Green Guard. And I love that name, the Green Guard, because basically it's Sea Guard with bows, with Goblin stats. I got my 5 Wolf Riders, got my Iron Orcs, the Iron Legions, Dread's Iron Legions. Now I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't want to take Dread with me because his model kept breaking, and taking it on the plane's a big issue. But I ended up taking Grimgor as Dread now. So basically Grimgor is taking over the general spot. Over here I got my K-Pack, my Koga Kaiser Koenig, and then I got my newest recruit here. Bum-ba-dum, the Cave Trolls. Behind the Cave Trolls I got my Forest Goblins, the 20 Forest Goblins with bows and tomahawks, and a banner of Relentless Company. Basically, I ended up getting first deployment, and I ended up, we're playing Dawn Assault, so basically there's one corner I can't touch, which is actually the right corner, and for him it's the left corner. Okay, I ended up dropping everything first. He didn't want to deal with the hill, or that like impassable face that's on the table, so he basically put it so he could be on the right side. So knowing that, there was a bit of strategy in my deployment. I ended up putting Koopa on the right side, because Koopa, if I put Koopa on the left side, he ends up deploying in the right corner, and Koopa will spend a lot of turns getting there. If I deploy on the right side, it's basically closer to his center of his army, so no matter which side he deploys on, he's going to have to deal with Koopa. When I was going over the list, I ended up talking a lot to Hermenard and Omar, basically over strategies, over whatever. Hermenard had no fear in me with this list. He was like, oh, they have this, they have that. But one of the things that I kept on repeating to both of them was, Koopa doesn't care. Koopa just doesn't care about anything in his list. What, you want to hit me with the Phoenix? Sure, whatever. The Chariots, they could be annoying, but I'll beat the Chariots. The Sea Guard, whatever. I'll just challenge out his character and deal with it. So I was like, Koopa really doesn't care. The one thing that could potentially hurt Koopa is the bolt throwers, but even then it's like a 50-50 shot. Not even, it's like a 33% chance shot, I think. So I put Koopa on the right side, and just because the Chariots can be annoying, I put the dogs right behind Koopa, so the dogs could run up and chaff the Chariots once they pop up right by Koopa's side. Next to that, I put Bazooka and the not Bazooka and the Horde, Bazooka and the BGKs, and basically they're just gonna go ahead and try to keep whatever's in front of Koopa dead and let Koopa go where he wants. Now, I tried this strategy, and I told Hermenard I was going to do this, but I put the Trolls in the center, and I put the Savage Orcs behind the Trolls to block them from Bowfighter. The one problem with this strategy was that he had a hill in the middle of his field, so no matter what, I'm not going to really block the Savages. It could, but it couldn't. We'll see how it goes. But more or less, I didn't want to put the Savages on the left flank. If I put the Savages on the left flank, what ends up happening is I take forever to get there. And I got my Iron Legion next to the Trolls with my General. Got the Common Goblins, the Green Guard behind them, and then I got the K-Pack on the left side, basically going to mop up the left side. Now, my goal here is King of the Hill, so I got to get to his hill, and he has to get to mine. Here's a picture of Ryan Dorsey himself. He actually did win something. We'll get to that later on round 5, but basically it's the only picture I really have of him. So there's a picture of Ryan himself, and also there's a picture of Mike in costume. Alright, let's go over Magic. Magic, I got Scorching Salvo, Enveloping Embers, Pyroclastic Flow, Fireball, and Hand to Heaven. Also got the Wog. I also have the Crown of the Wizard King on my general, for the record. That's why I have Hand to Heaven, which I found hilarious. I just took all the magic missiles I can. Hand to Heaven would be great to kill the Phoenix, but based on how he deploys like so. He deployed his chariots in the corner on the right side. Again, basically I would probably do the same thing, just try to get Koopa out of it. But I put the dogs there because I knew he would do that. He has his Phoenix in the right side. He has his Sea Guard next to the Phoenix. He has his horses somewhere close by. He has his Queen's Guard on the hill, as well as his 20 spears and his Flame Wardens. He has 3 bolt throwers spread out in the back, and basically that's how it looks. As you can see, boom, boom, boom. And yeah, it's gonna start off Vanguards. Vanguards turn 1. So Vanguards, you don't see it with my dogs, but basically I'm just gonna move my dogs closer to his chariots, and it's gonna go into turn 1. Orcs and Goblins. Orcs and Goblins turn 1. Okay, guys, here we go. Here we go. All right. First thing I do is actually just move the dogs right up in front of the chariots. He can't wheel past the dogs. He has to charge the dogs. He can, for the record, terror check my dogs. But if he does, he's wasting his turn with his Phoenix, which I thought, you know, either way I would kind of win this. And plus Koopa's not that close for the chariots. I do use the gate to, if he does charge Koopa in the flank somehow, he's going to get hit by that gate by a shit ton of DTs. So I'll just deal with that. But I think I'm fine, to be honest. Move the trolls up aggressively. The trolls don't give a fuck. Move the forest goblins up as much as I can. Basically, I'm just going to try to fireball all his shit. And yeah, that's how it looks. I actually just move on up. Turn 1 magic. Magic, I got an 8 on the flux. Go ahead and I do. I store 2 dice. I end up doing an enveloping embers. He binding scrolls my enveloping embers. Then I go ahead and I do a scorching salvo, but I cast it with triple 5s, which drops down to triple 4s. Because it's triple 4s on the 8 phase, I will lose the spell. So he lets it go through. I end up killing off the stupid bolt thrower that's on the hill. I end up only killing off 1 Queen's Guard and 2 Sea Guard, and that's it. Go ahead and do a fireball to kill off a shit ton of his Sea Guard, or his Queen's Guard. Excuse me. I end up killing off the whole back line, 2, 4, 6 of them, and I'm gonna continue shooting with bazooka and the BGKs. End up killing off a bunch of his Sea Guards, 4 Sea Guards. It's gonna start off his turn. Highborn Elves, turn 1. Alright, so the first thing he's going to do is going to go ahead and charge my dogs with his chariot. Sorry, it's a blurry picture, but he's going to get in with that. Now, he moves the Phoenix through, which I don't care if he moves the Phoenix through, to be honest. Koopa, I mean, it's strength 4, you need 6s to hurt Koopa. The thing is, I kept everything out of range from his Phoenix to charge, or to get in right now. So, basically, he should not be able to get any of my units. And basically it's going to open up his center to Koopa unless he chaps Koopa, which he will. He'll throw up an eagle in front of Koopa, right like so. Now, one of the things he's doing right here, and I'll get back to it later on, is he's setting Koopa up, okay? Koopa, if I charge the eagle and I just turn to reform, he's going to hit Koopa with the Phoenix and the chariots, okay? Let's just be honest. If I hit the eagle and I overrun, I'm in the direction of the game that Koopa's not even going to be needed. There's nothing by that forest. He's going to shoot me with his bolt throwers, and his eagle's just going to annoy my units, right? He does put his Elaine reverse by the trolls, and that's about it. Yeah, that's it. He's going to go ahead and just try to magic and shoot me to death because his army's very shooty. Magic! He got an 8 on the flux. We got double 8s. Look at that shit. It's a good shuffle. And my Octomat there. First thing he does Altered Sight here. I don't really care. I think I Binding Scroll his, whatever the spell is that does 1 damage to everybody, strength 3 shot. But basically, I Binding Scroll that. I stop his Ice and Fire, and I stop something else, and I'm like, you know what? Oh, I stop his Oaken Throne, and I'm like, he doesn't really have much spells that actually threaten me after Altered Sight, so fuck it, I don't really care. Well, what he ends up doing is he ends up doing the fucking Raven's Wing, and I totally miss this. I totally miss this. I was like, son of a bitch, he totally caught me off guard. He even said it himself. This is the best play of the game, of the weekend that he's done. And I just totally fucking missed it. He Ravens Wings over my fucking Forest Goblins with his fucking Phoenix. He does a D6 for the first row, plus every rank after. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4 ranks after, plus the additional D6 from the Ravens Wing. Gets it off, and he kills off over 15 of my damn goblins. Actually, hold on, I got 3, 6, 7. I have 7 left. He killed 13 goblins. 13 fucking Forest Goblins. And not only that, but it puts him in a better position to continue threatening me, which is just like heartbreaking. Over here, he's going to shoot with his Queen's Guard into my Trolls. He ends up doing 2 wounds. The Sea Guard end up shooting into my Trolls, only do 1 wound. I don't think he knew that they had the good armor and regen save. If he did, or he's just trying to focus fire on him. I personally, looking back at this game, I think it would have been better if he just killed my Forest Goblins right here. I think he would have been able to, no problem. Anyways. That's it. It's gonna start off my turn. Orcs and Goblins, turn number 2. Orcs and Goblins, turn number 2. I'm gonna go ahead and charge in. I think I do the Wog, to be honest. I want to say I did the Wog. I charge my Trolls into the Sea Guard, or into the Lane Reavers. He's gonna stand and shoot with the Sea Guard into the Trolls. He does 1 wound. Okay. Then I charge with the Black Orcs into the Reavers, hoping that he holds, because I'll be able to overrun into both his Spearmen and his Sea Guard. But now he flees. Now the one thing that caught him off guard, I tried to redirect and I missed the. I passed the redirect with the Trolls trying to go into, I think, the Sea Guard. I fail. Okay, okay, that happens. But the funnier part here is I don't charge with Koopa. I just walk away, and he was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, there's no point in me charging that fucking eagle." So I walk away with Koopa, and I park Koopa right here. Boom! Obviously on the left side I charged the K-Pack into his Phoenix Guard, his Flame Wardens. But I put Koopa here because Koopa, if he charges me with the front, with the Sea Guard, it's a front charge, he's only going to get 2 guys in, and I just challenge out and I don't care. If he charges me in the flank with his spears, it could hurt, but I mean, let's be honest, it's fucking Koopa versus a bunch of strength 3 spears. I don't care. So I just basically put Koopa here just because I didn't give a fuck. My guys on the bottom, I don't have a picture of it, but basically my Forest Goblins disbanded. My 2 characters did the triple march, the Relentless Banner, and walked out of the unit, walked into the Green Guard. Yeah, let's go over Magic. Magic, I got a 5 on the Flux. Go ahead and I do an Enveloping Embers onto his spears. I only kill off about 4 or 5 spears. Now, after I did about my second spell, I did, I want to say I did a Scorching Salvo that failed, so I ended up doing a Pyroclastic Flow. I ended up killing off a couple of his, more of his spears. I realized, fuck, I was supposed to kill that stupid eagle, and I forgot. I totally forgot. I just moved to the other side, and I started focusing fire on the spears. So all of a sudden, I'm like, well, fuck it, I already doubled down on the damn spears. Let's continue hitting the spears. So I do a Fireball, end up killing off more spears. Basically, I did this to make him not want to charge Koopa, which basically that's what it's going to do. It's going to be more reason less to charge Koopa because he has just a lot less attacks. Over here, the BGKs just do 1 wound onto his Phoenix. I just walked to the side of it and shot it with Tomahawks. And then over here, I end up doing, don't ask me why I did this, I just kind of felt like doing it at the time that I did. Koopa actually just does a Breath Weapon onto his Queen's Guard just to kill more of his Queen's Guard. I don't want that many bodies. I was hoping I would have done 7 and get rid of the unit, but I ended up only doing 3. Over here, Impact hits. Boom! Only kill 4 guys. I did about 12 wounds. Okay, 12 fucking wounds. And he made like 6 or something, no, 8 ward saves. I was like, Jesus Christ. He goes back, he ends up doing a couple wounds onto my K-Pack. We stick there. I have like a charge in like 4, maybe 5 wounds total after that, and he has a couple ranks and 4 wounds back. So we're just going to stick there. It's going to start off his turn, and I am going to ignore that call because it might be a work call, but I'll call him back. It's going to start off turn 2. Highborn Elves. Highborn Elves turn 2, his fucking Phoenix just moves right behind my fucking Savages, burns off a couple of my Savages, and looks this way to threaten the rest of my army. His Sea Guard, this is probably the longest turn of the game because he didn't know how to get out of line of sight of Koopa. He is scared shitless of Koopa. So he moves the eagle in front of the Trolls, which he should. Okay? he just moves, he shimmies the spearman over just so he doesn't get charged by Koopa. He actually ends up putting the Queen's Guard in front of Koopa to chaff Koopa. So Koopa would, if he charges, I'm just charging Queen's Guard, and basically that's it. He's basically given up his Queen's Guard. His chariots are coming up the flank on the right side, and his Sea Guard just reformed and walked away from Koopa. But this is how it ends up looking like so. Alright, just to give you guys an idea here. So, that's about it. Magic, he ends up getting a 3 on the Flux, goes ahead and he does Oaken Throne, and he ends up doing Awaken the Beast here onto his Phoenix Guard, his Flame Wardens. Shooting, he ends up shooting 2 wounds into Koopa with the Bolt Thrower. Okay, that was about to happen. And then over here, he just punks my Chariots. He ends up killing off one of them, the other one runs, and I flee this way. And he's basically just going to... I don't even think he chased. I think he wants to stay far enough back from the Black Orcs. And it's going to start off my turn. Orcs and Goblins turn number 3. Guys, I'm going to give you a view of this, an overview. Okay, this is the last picture I have of where the Phoenix was or whatever. This is before the K-Pack died, obviously. What I end up doing here is I see that where he put his eagle, he put the eagle so that way when the trolls charge, trolls are going to go towards where the K-Pack is in this picture, right? But because he did that, what he did not see was the Black Orcs also see that eagle, and it would face him towards the Sea Guard, and that is his mistake. It's a 7-inch gap between those two, so it's a 50-50 chance that if I overrun with the Black Orcs, I got this. Alright, so let's go over Orcs and Goblins, turn number 3, or 4, whatever turn this is, and charge! Holy shit, I'm charging everything. I'm charging the K-Pack, or not the K-Pack, Koopa! I'm charging, the Trolls, I'm charging the Black Orcs, and then top it off, my fucking Pharaohs failed the frenzy check, and they're charging in too. What the fuck? Anyways, everybody gets in. Now the Savages only need like 11. Everything else is pretty much auto in. I'm just getting in with everything. Let's go into Magic. Magic can go ahead and do a Fireball, start hitting the freaking Spearmen, killing off more of them. I end up doing, it looks like, a couple more spells, kill off a couple more. And let's go into Combat. Combat! Koopa, I had to do Koopa first, okay? Koopa kills the Queen's Guard. There's only 4 Queen's Guard. They're dead. I'm going to overrun. They actually do a wound to Koopa, those fucking bastards. But I have to overrun, or else the Black Orcs are going to fail their charge, right? So I go ahead and I do this, right? And then what ends up happening is I end up killing the Eagle with the Black Orcs. I need a 7 to get into that flank. I roll a fucking 9. I get in. Boom! So now he challenges with his fucking champion. My Black Orc champion takes the challenge. Both of these guys live, for the record. Both of these guys whiff. Alright. The impact hits, kills a couple. My freaking general, they turn off the ward save on his freaking BSB, which was on the corner. My general just chopped him into pieces. Oh my God. And then my Black Orcs are just going to go in, and between my Black Orcs and my Savages, just say there's 30 bodies there, I do 29 wounds, okay? I'm exaggerating a little bit. I don't think there was 30, but whatever it was, I left just the champion alive. Just the champion and the general alive. They're going to flee. Now, it's hold the King of the Hill, so I don't want to run off the hill. I don't. I actually want to stay on the hill. So I let the Savages go chase him. They're running from the Black Orcs. He ends up running just a couple more inches away from my Savage Orcs, which is fine. I'm going to reform the Black Orcs basically to deal with the Spearmen and the Phoenix Guard that's left. And my Trolls are just chilling, looking the opposite way for when that Phoenix gets in my way later. And it's going to look like that, more or less. It's going to start off turn 3. Highborn Elves. Highborn Elves, turn 3. He's like, son of a bitch. Now, he could charge the Chariots into my Savages, but I believe it's going to wheel him so much because his characters are in the way that it's not going to even be worth it. I think he'll only get like maybe 2 in. I don't even remember how it was. I think he thought he blocked his charge, but more or less, either way, it's not the best. He's actually hoping he just rallies his general and then chaff my Savages with his Elaine Reavers, which he will. And basically his Phoenix is coming this way, just kind of terrorizing my other guys. But basically that's how it looks. Over here, Magic, he gets a 1 on the Flux. And it didn't even matter. it didn't even matter. You know why? Because his fucking general didn't rally. His general's still running. If that one champion died, his general would have rallied like twice already. But since he doesn't, he still has the one champion in there. They're like leadership 5 now. All right. So let's go start off my turn. Orcs and Goblins turn number. Oh no! I take it back. He shot me here with his fucking Lane Reavers. Kills off 1 savages. Now it's gonna start off Orcs and Goblins turn 4. Orcs and Goblins turn 4. So I go ahead and I'm charging again. I'm charging the Spearmen with my Black Orcs. I'm charging the Savages into the Lane Reavers. And I'm charging Koopa into the Bolt Thrower. I have a future perspective on what Koopa's doing. Koopa's job is to get rid of his general right now. So Koopa's going over to the freaking Bolt Thrower. He's going to get in. Boom! Like so. Everybody's in. My K-Pack rallies. And all I'm trying to do is shoot the crap out of his freaking Phoenix Guard. My Trolls turn around to deal with the freaking Phoenix and the Phoenix Guard. Magic, I got a 3 on the Flux. Go ahead. Doesn't even think I got much in Magic off. I'm going to go ahead and start shooting into this Phoenix. Does another wound. Over here, I end up killing off the Spearmen, which I don't think I even gave them the points for. It's going to start off turn 4. Highborn Elves. Turn 4, Highborn Elves. As you can see, I reformed into smaller ranks because I knew the Phoenix was coming, and this is basically the most dangerous part of the game. Is the Phoenix is charging in. Somebody did 2 wounds onto my general. I think one of the Spearmen did that, and it was just like, what the fuck? So my general only has 1 wound left, so I had to put, when I reformed from killing the Spearmen, I moved my general to the other flank. So basically only 1 guy should be touching him, not the Phoenix, okay? And he's going to charge in like so. So everybody gets in, of course. He charges in his chariots here into my savages, which that was due to happen the turn before, to be honest. And he gets in. Okay. As you can see, Koopa actually killed off his Bolt Thrower, and Koopa is actually just staring at his general. Even if his general rallies, he's basically pincered in between Koopa and the Forest Goblins, and that is my plan. That is my end game plan, which was he left the 7 Forest Goblins alive, so I just kept moving the Forest Goblins to keep the general pincered no matter what, so I could double charge, and even if he flees from Koopa, I'm going to push him back with the Forest Goblins. As you can see, impact hits here. Boom! Oh my god, his impact hits. If I have 14 guys, I only have 4 left. He did 10 wounds. Onto my Savage Orcs. My Savage Orcs don't even get to swing before his characters go ahead and kill off my Savages. And his overrun will just skim past the Trolls, so he didn't even bother. Over here, look at that action shot. Suck! He goes ahead and he ends up killing off only like, looks like 3 or 4 of my Black Orcs, but my Black Orcs, my general, just wipe out a shit ton of his Phoenix Guard. They do a couple wounds onto the Phoenix itself. The Phoenix only has 1 wound left. It's going to start off Orcs and Goblins turn 5. Orcs and Goblins turn 5. As you can see, that is the charge right there. I charge the Trolls, you won't believe this, into the Phoenix. Yes, you heard that right. I charge my Trolls, my Stone Trolls, into the Phoenix, because the Phoenix only has 1 wound left. I don't care if it does as many wounds as it wants to onto the Black Orcs or the Trolls, to be honest. I charge the K-Pack into the last of the Phoenix Guard because I'm just afraid that he'll swing at my general and get that 1 wound off. And then I charge Koopa into his general, which was still fleeing, so it just flat off the table. He rolled like an 11 to get off the table. So doing that, I ended up doing this. This was a gamble, but I charged my Forest Goblins into the flank of his chariots, and the reason I did that was because I believe they're facing Koopa. If I could get in and I have a charge, a flank, and a banner, and even if I do 1 wound, I'm winning combat, and he only has like 4 attacks coming back, so he needs all 4 attacks to hit and all 4 attacks to wound for him to basically win combat, and I need to do nothing. Or if he fails that and he gets only like 2 wounds, I still win combat and he has the test. Regardless, his unit's going to be stuck there for a turn, which means he cannot charge on his turn, and that's all I really wanted to do. So I go ahead and I charge the Forest Goblins in, keep them held up, and basically that combat right there, he ends up it looks like I end up doing 2 wounds. He ends up doing a couple wounds. He sticks in the combat, and we're just going to stick there for another round. He ends up killing this unit eventually, which is whatever. Over here, this combat. Woo! My general, my Black Orcs, my Trolls just killed everybody. He went to go see if he could revive the Phoenix. the Phoenix did not revive. It is a massive, massive win for the Orcs and Goblins. It would have been a 20-0 under normal circumstances, but for some reason the spread at this tournament, it's a little bit harder to pull off a 20. So I actually ended up getting 19 points. I think I was over by 3,100. I had 3,100 more points than him. I even told him if we finished a couple rounds, because this is like round 4, so if we had round 5, round 6, he has he's going to kill my Forest Goblins, I'm going to kill his Chariots, and it's still a 19-1. So we just called it right here. There's like no point of continuing on the game, and it's gonna just be a big win for me, Orcs and Goblins. Based on my prediction, let's go back to this picture here. What John said was extremely true, and I knew that going into this game, which was if the Trolls, Black Orcs, or Koopa gets in, it's going to be really hard for him to deal with that close combat threat. He didn't have enough bodies to deal with me. I think what they missed on the prediction was my Pyromancy just eats the frickin' Elves up. I knew the Pyromancy was going to eat the Elves up. They thought that his version of the K-Pack was deadly, which it is. It's the same as my K-Pack. But knowing how people deal with the K-Pack, I think that gives me the advantage. I know how it plays more or less. And I think his biggest threat was always the Phoenix to begin with. He didn't have to get the Phoenix in combat at any time. Me picking a wound here and there was not going to kill it fast enough based on how much damage it does. I think he just needed to keep going with the Phoenix, going through my units, mowing through my units. I think that he asked me what would he have done differently for this game to not go this way, and I think the number one thing was the Eagle charge. Obviously, he gave up the flank, but he didn't see it. It was really hard, and I think that just comes with time and practice. I think that the Eagle charge, he didn't see that it was giving up a flank, but it's one of those things you have to kind of remove yourself and look at the opponent's side and what the opponent going to do. Knowing what the opponent's going to do, you're able to spot stuff like that. But overall, I think that his biggest threat was always Koopa. I think that, and it kind of sucked going, I'm going to go back to this picture here. It kind of sucked that I had to overrun Koopa on this side and just basically just say, okay, screw all the hordes, and I have to do this for the better of the team. Because I would love Koopa just to rip apart Sea Guard, rip apart Spearman, rip apart Phoenix Guard, all of it. Koopa would just kept on going. But Koopa did have the end game plan of killing off his general. So no matter what, that was going to happen. Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed that battle report. I enjoyed making it. It was good to get that like first win right off the bat. Anyways, this is my round 2 opponent, and that's a picture of me looking jacked as hell. But that is a picture of Wesley King, and this is my round 2 opponent. He is playing Saurian Ancients, and this is going to be a very fun game. And yeah, I didn't know this. I played Wesley before at Wicked GT, and I didn't know he was one of my actual followers on my channel. He's been commenting for quite a long time. I've known his commenting name, it just didn't click that it was the same person as the person I played. But that's going to be a hell of a game coming up very soon. Besides that, guys, I hope you guys enjoy this battle report. My MVP for this game is very simple. It's the Black Orcs. It's Dread's Iron Legion. They freaking killed the Sea Guard, killed the General in the BSB, killed the Flame Wardens, killed the Phoenix. They killed pretty much his whole army. My runner-up would probably be Baxter. Baxter was just fucking annihilating. So, same thing with Koopa, but I would have to say it's easily Dread's Iron Legion. So, yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did like my video, hit like, hit share, hit subscribe. I'll be putting up more videos very soon. And if you guys would like to show further support, I do leave my Patreon down below, as well as a PayPal address if you want to do a one-time donation to my PayPal. Everything is helpful. Everything helps me get to the next game, next tournament, which, to be honest, this one was in Colorado. It cost me quite a hefty airfare to get there last minute, because coincidentally Chicago was playing Denver in the freaking football game. So, like, everybody and their mother was trying to get to Denver. Besides that, my next tournament is probably Michigan GT in about a month from now, so that's just going to be costing me mainly gas and a hotel. But then after that, we're going to Milwaukee for Hogfest, and then after that is San Francisco, which is more or less where any donations is headed towards, is my San Francisco trip. Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoy this. Gave you guys the MVP, and until next time, take care and peace.